Hello friends, here is the part 2 of biogeochemical cycling. Here we can learn about the one specific biogeochemical cycle like carbon cycle. So, as you know, biogeochemical cycle means any specific kind of matter or element is moving or cycling between the biotic and abiotic sphere of ecosystem. Means suppose here we learn about carbon cycle. So the movement of carbon atom between the living part and non-living part of the ecosystem. So how the carbon is moved between biotic and abiotic sphere of ecosystem. The cycling process of carbon in ecosystem. Here we learn about biogeochemical cycling. In the first part we see what is biogeochemical cycling and what is redox potential. So redox potential means oxidation and reduction potency of any element to measure its oxidize or reduce form. So here we going to learn about carbon cycle. So in carbon cycle, carbon is present in a gaseous component. In a reduced form, carbon it's a CH4. So CH4 it's a reduced form of carbon which having -4 potency, or redox potential of carbon reduced form is -4. So in the reduced form it's saturated. It's not going to be in a reduction process, but it's going to accept electrons and going to proceed for oxidation. So here methane is going for the oxidation process. Methane having -4 potency, so it's going to get some electron and convert into positive potency in the oxidation form. So here in the reduced form methane is in a -4 potency. In reduced form it's going to have +2 potency and convert into carbon monoxide. So methane going to be oxidized and convert into carbon monoxide, which is the intermediate oxidation state form. So in carbon cycle the intermediate oxidation state is conversion of methane into carbon monoxide. Then in the full oxidation form, methane is converted into CO2 which having +4 potency. So you get that methane having -4 potency, redox potential is -4, which convert into +4 in full oxidized condition. So here clear what is biogeochemical cycle and what is redox potential. Now move towards our main topic of today is carbon cycle. So carbon is the element that define life and as such in everywhere. The table 28.2 list of reservoir sourcings of carbon. So here is the table 22.2. So in table 22.2, example of carbon sources, reservoirs like rocks and sediment, ocean, soils, approximate amount of grams. Here given the example of carbon sources, reservoirs, sinks and rate amount of carbon reservoirs. Okay, here is the figure of redox potential. pH oxidation concentration influence the availability of terminal electron acceptor. So here you can see the depth scale. Aerobic respiration means oxic condition, and anaerobic uh, state means anoxic condition. In anoxic condition, denitrification occur, reduction occurs, manganese ion reduction, sulfur reduction, methanogenesis. It all process occur in anoxic condition, where in oxic condition only respiration occur. Here is the giving of redox potential of every reduction and oxidation process. So, the exchange of element between sources and sinks is referred to as flux. Flux is the exchange element between source sinks is referred to as flux. Means in carbon cycle, the exchange between ocean rocks is called the flux. Clear? The carbon element, it's moved from like rock to ocean, ocean to fossil fuels to soils. So the rate is called flux. The exchange of element between sources and sinks is referred to as flux. Clear? Carbon is present in a reduced form such as methane. Clear? We discussed before in the table that the reduced form of carbon is methane CH4 and organic matter, and is more oxidized forms such as carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, which have the potential of +2 and +4 we see in this table. Clear? Okay, let's move toward. Although carbon is continuously transferred from one form to another, for the sake of clarity, we shall say that the cycle begins with the carbon fixation. So, in the carbon cycle, start with the carbon fixation. Clear? The conversion of CO2 into organic matter. Okay, so in carbon cycle we can see the methane convert into carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide. So here is the figure, you can see that here suppose in full reduced form of carbon is CH4. So it's not going to any further reduction process. It's going to be oxidation process. So the CH4 is going to be oxidized into CO2 because CH4 having -4 potential, it's going to be +4. So here is the organism like methanogens. It's help to convert methane into carbon dioxide. Another alternative also like fossil fuel combination and environmental carbon monoxide is going to convert into carbon dioxide. After conversion of methane into carbon dioxide is a full potential of oxidized form. So now it's going to be reduction process. So CO2 fixation occur by photo and chemolithotrophy. So it's going to convert into organic matter. So the carbon dioxide atmosphere convert or fix CO2 into organic matter by photo and chemolithotrophy. Then this organic matter is by respiration and fermentation, which are anoxic condition, means there is no need of oxygen. Okay, then it's going to again convert into carbon dioxide. After organic matter is going to convert into carbon dioxide, then it go for reduction process. With the help of organism, it's carry out methanogenesis. So it's convert carbon dioxide into methane. So clear, here is the cycle. Methane convert into carbon dioxide again convert into organic matter, then it's again convert into carbon dioxide, then carbon dioxide reduce and again form the methane. If carbon monoxide or any other fossil fuels is in the environment, it's going to convert into carbon dioxide. This way the whole carbon cycle take place. Simply, it's the process of carbon atom or carbon element conversion of methane, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and again convert into methane. So it's the process of cycling of carbon atom between the abiotic and biotic condition like living and non-living things. The continuous flow of carbon into environment in full reduced form like methane and full oxidized form like carbon dioxide. So let's move towards the carbon cycle. Plants such as tree and crops are often regarded as a principal CO2 fixing organism. As you know, the plants and trees are going to fix carbon dioxide. But at least half the carbon on earth is fixed by microbes, particularly marine photosynthetic bacteria and protista. Example here is the given is cyanobacteria in Janella, and diatoms are the another example. Importantly, microbes also fix carbon in anoxic environment, means no need of oxygen, using anoxic photosynthesis as well as by chemolithoautotrophy in the absence of light. In fact, recent evidence suggests that bacterial chemolithoautotrophy in the deep dark ocean may constitute a significant fraction of marine carbon fixation. So, in the marine, we here discuss it's a chemolithoautotrophy, means no need of oxygen. It's a chemical process by a carbon element in a dark ocean, so no need of life. It's itself microbes convert or fix environmental carbon dioxide or marine carbon dioxide into organic matter or otherwise fix into methane. All fixed carbon enter a common pool of organic matter that can then be oxidized back to CO2 through the aerobic and anaerobic respiration and fermentation, which you can see in this figure. The carbon dioxide reduce and form organic matters, then fermentation occur, it's also form the carbon dioxide again by respiration and fermentation, which is described here. Okay. Alternatively, inorganic carbon CO2 and organic carbon can be reduced anaerobically to methane. Recall that only archaea from methane from either H2 plus CO2 or H2 plus acetate. As discussed in the chapter, methane produced in sediment is then oxidized either aerobically by proteobacteria or anaerobically by archaea or newly discovered bacteria that couple methane oxidation with denitrification. Large amount of methane are also generated in the gut of ruminant animals. Globally, ruminant animals sediment found in rice paddies, coal mines, sewage treatment plants, landfills, marshes, mangroves, swamps, and even archaea found in the termite gut are important source of methane. So, here we in the figure you can see oxic and anoxic condition of methane production. So here you can see that methane convert into carbon dioxide, a methanogenesis process occur, metallotropy process occur. So how it's occur in a oxidation oxidative process and reductive process, the figure is shown here. So in oxic condition means in the presence of oxygen, oxidation occur. The aerobic methane oxidation, methano and methanotropic proteobacterial helps. So here is the organism which convert methane into carbon dioxide with the help of oxygen, because it's a oxic process and oxidation procedure. Okay, then let's move toward the anoxic process. Means anoxic process, no need of oxygen. For that, methanogenesis process occur by archaea or reserve methanogenesis with archaea and SRB. Methalo may be oxifera, which type of microorganism. Here you can see it convert through the methanogenesis in an anaerobic process, convert methane in a various form like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Here you can see 3 methane convert into 3 carbon dioxide. Okay, or another compound organic carbon due to fermentation with the acetate it convert into methane, and after methanogenesis it convert into carbon dioxide. So clear about methanogenesis and methanotropy. It's a conversion between complex organic carbon into methane, or methane convert into carbon dioxide. In the carbon cycle, different type of organic matter form and degrade. This is a mark over simplification because organic matter varies widely in a term of elemental composition, structure and basic repeating unit. Linkage between repeating units and other physical chemical characteristic. So here it's the conversion of carbon dioxide into its reduced form methane, and then methane is going to be oxidized and form carbon dioxide. These include oxidation reduction potential as determined by relative abundance of electron donor and electron acceptor into environment, and second is the availability of compacting nutrients, abiotic conditions such as pH, temperature, oxygen and osmotic condition, and fourth the microbial community present. So it's clear carbon cycle. Here is the table showing the complex organic substrate characteristic that influence decomposition and degradability. Means the oxidation of carbon shows the basic subunit like starch substrate having basic subunit glucose. It link between 1/4 or 1/6 which element present in the large quantity like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus. Degradation with O2 means oxic condition, or degradation without O2 means anoxic condition. Here are some example of carbon cycle. Lignin, as you can see in the table, lignin an important structural component in a mature plant material. It nourishingly stable. Lignin is actually a family of complex amorphous polymers linked by carbon-carbon and carbon-ether bonds. Fungi and streptomyces degrade lignin by oxidative depolymerization, a process that requires oxygen. A few microbes such as the purple bacteria Rhodospeudomonas palustris can degrade lignin anaerobically but at very slow rate. The diminished biodegradability under anoxic condition result in the accumulation of lignifying material, including the formation of peat bogs. The term mineralization. So, what is mineralization? Is used to describe the decomposition of organic matter to simpler inorganic form. So, mineralization is the decomposition, means any organic matter is going to simplify in inorganic compound. Example are carbon dioxide, methane, hydrogen. This compound may or may not be recycled within the same environment. Microbes require each micronutrient in a specific relevant amount. So, if environment is enriched in one nutrient but relatively deficient in another, the nutrients found in overabundance may not be completely recycled into living biomass. For instance, inspection of table. Another example is protein and chitin. So, the protein and chitin contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. This compound may provide more nitrogen than can be used relative to the amount of carbon available. Thus, these minerals may release to the environment, but contrast nutrient that converted into biomass become temporarily tied up and are unavailable for nutrition cycling. This is sometimes called nutrient immobilization, means to fix a nutrient in a cycle. It's called immobilization, means temporary tied up of nutrient. Many complex substrates contain only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Growth using the substrate demand that microbes acquire the remaining nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, iron from the environment. This is often very difficult as the concentration of nitrogen, phosphorus and iron may be very low when the supplement of micronutrient is sufficient to support the maximal growth. That nutrient is said to be limiting, means micro amount of nutrient required for the growth. For instance, in an open ocean microbial community, growth of many microbes is often nitrogen limiting. In other words, if higher concentration of usable nitrogen were available, the rate of microbial growth would increase. This phenomena is called by Liebig's law of minimal, named after the 19th century chemist Justus van Liebig. So, in the higher concentration of usable nitrogen were available, the rate of microbial growth going to be increased. So, here is about the carbon cycle. It's about the substrate, basic subunit linkage and which element present in the large quantity and degradation with oxic and anoxic composition, methanogenesis and methanotropy, how it's occur between oxic and anoxic condition. The carbon cycle, how methane convert into carbon monoxide, then carbon dioxide, then it's again going to be reduced and into organic matter, then fermentation and respiration in anoxic condition, it's going to convert into carbon dioxide, and then methanogenesis reduction occurs and it convert into methane with the help of methanogenesis bacteria and archaea. Here methanogenesis and methanotropy occurs to convert carbon dioxide into fully reduced form of carbon, methane. So here is all about the carbon cycle. I hope you can all clear about carbon cycle, how it's going to occur, what is its redox potential, how carbon element convert into methane, then convert into carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So enough for today. In the next part of biogeochemical cycling, we learn about nitrogen cycle. So here we conclude about the carbon cycle, conversion of carbon element into methane to carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, and then again in the cyclic form carbon dioxide is going to convert into methane, and this process is going to continue in a cyclic form. So it's a completion of the first biogeochemical cycle, carbon cycle. In the next part we're going to learn about the next cycle of biogeochemically. Thank you so much.